Would make a very fine teacher, the history teacher of every student's dreams.
Dan Snow. Big, handsome Dan Snow. And not for him, as a history teacher, banging on about the Treaty of Westphalia and all that nonsense. Oh, no.
Take tonight's film from Dan, the tale of a beautiful nature reserve in Flintshire, beneath which there once flourished a chemical weapons factory.
Somewhere in Britain, men and women pass through factory gates to work. These workers make mustard gas, which is not, as you might suppose, a gas, but a liquid, which in self-protection we are forced to make. Poison gas that we shall not hesitate to use if needs be.
This wartime training film was made for the men and women working in the Valley Works in Rhydymwyn, northeast Wales, the site of one of Britain's greatest wartime secrets. Today, this beautiful valley is home to a peaceful nature reserve. But during the Second World War, had a very different purpose. Beneath where I'm standing now, there's a network of top-secret tunnels which stored Britain's wartime supplies of mustard gas. But Valley Works wasn't only a storage facility. In these buildings, men and women had the task of assembling things like smoke grenades, but also lethal mustard gas shells and bombs. Such was the importance of the site that, after it was built in 1940, it was deliberately left off maps to conceal its location from the enemy. The Valley Works underground system consisted of 3 400-foot tunnels with interlinking passages. 90-year-old Rosina Parry is the last known person alive who worked in this dangerous environment. She was one of 50 weapons inspectors. What exactly was your job?
Well, the bombs are all laid out ready for us to inspect and to pass them, to make sure that they were not damaged in any way, not leaking, or anything wrong with them before they were sent through to be packed.
What kind of things were you checking for?
Any leaks or anything, because we knew if there was any leaks, you only had to have a little spot and you were burnt, you see. People in the Air Force were going to handle them after us, weren't they, you know? And we had to be sure that there was nothing wrong with them when they went out.
So I imagine you weren't just wearing normal clothes for that?
No, when we first went through the gates, you had the ICI pass to go through the gates into this big building, and you had your own locker there. You took all your own clothes off, you put a towel around you, went through the shower room, into the other room where you put their clothes on. And then you went and reported to the office. They told you which cave you were going to go in that particular day, you see.
Did you ever worry what would happen if there were leaks?
Well, we'd all be dead, wouldn't we? Most probably. You don't know, do you? We'll never know.
By 1943, there were 2,000 people on this site. And in this building here, scientists have shown their workings on the wall. They weren't allowed to write them on paper in case they accidentally took them off the site and they fell into the wrong hands. But the most extraordinary work that was going on in the Valley Works was happening at this site here, this segregated building that was heavily guarded, the top secret P6. So what was going on, Colin, in this vast space here?
In this building in the years 1942 to 1945, a number of scientists were trying to separate uranium-235 from uranium to make an atomic bomb.
And who were the scientists that worked in here?
These men were expatriate Germans and mid-European physicists.
So why did all those scientists leave Germany and start working for the British?
Working for Great Britain because they were not welcome in their own country because of their faith, they were Jewish, or perhaps their political beliefs.
Isn't that incredible that before they all moved to the United States, this is where the early work was done on the development of the nuclear bomb?
It is absolutely amazing because these guys weren't allowed to work on radar because it was secret. But they were allowed to work on the atomic bomb because all of our best guys were working on radar to beat the U-boats.
In the mid-40s, all atomic research moved to America. Unfortunately, the mustard gas produced here was never used in battle. It was taken away after the war and destroyed. Now, this area is a nature reserve, so today people come and watch birds